Hi, it's Monday, the 31st of March, and we're here to look at the current astrology. So, without ado, I will go straight to share today's chart and we shall have a look what is happening. So, right, let's first of all just dispose of the eclipsed new moon in Aries. So, what's happened since then? The moon has moved out of Aries into Taurus, and the first sighting of the new moon as a crescent, a little slither as it pulls away from the sun, was last night. We saw it last night. So those two things, moving on to the next sign, seeing the crescent moon as it emerges from the dark side, um, it's that brings about the closure, the ending of the issues to do with that new moon. And so there we go. That's sorted. The big story actually for now is that Neptune has moved into Aries. And this is the big one. Now it is going to go retrograde and then go forward again. However, to actually step into Aries, this is we've got to talk about this. This is a big thing. I'm just going to point out before I stop showing this chart that we've still got a retrograde Mercury and a retrograde Venus. Now that is quite important because it's saying that those issues that are ruled by the planet Mercury and the planet Venus are in a retrograde motion, which means that those issues have to be gone over again. We're going over something, back over it, and we then have to go over it again going forward. So there is an energy which is treading water, that's not really moving into new territory at the moment. So we need to understand that. Okay, I'm just going to stop that share and let's look at Neptune moving into Aries. This is the big news. Now, first of all, what we have to understand is what Aries is all about, and we have to understand what Neptune is all about. So let's start with Neptune. So what is Neptune's main purpose in life? What is Neptune's mission? What does Neptune feel like? Okay, well, Neptune's mission is to teach and ensure a passive and submissive experience. Neptune is about introducing and ensuring a longing and yearning for a soft and yielding encounter. It wants to bring about a euphoric and ecstatic oblivion, basically. It's to encourage a search to enable a blending with the unconditional love of a God. And this God is one that is perfect, all embracing. And so there is this longing for this immersion into a totally unconditional, loving embrace, if you like, a total blending with the great white light. Now, okay, that doesn't sound, it sounds strange in this day and age, but what can bring about, what mission can be achieved, how does it feel when Neptune's mission arrives in our lives? It can encourage all kinds of addictive behavior, and so people can temporarily find themselves partially addicted to wine or smoking or chocolate or sex or anything that you can get addicted to. It's as if we want to leave this earthly plane and just completely sail away, float away, totally escape. And so the uplifting, ecstatic oblivion that comes with drinking or with smoking, drugs, anything like that. This can be a release from this earthly plane. And that really is what Neptune's all about. When we experience Neptune, we experience this yearning and pining and longing for this wonderful oblivion, this God that offers such unconditional and perfect and beautiful experience and existence. And that's it. Okay, that's not it actually. There's loads more, but that'll do for now. The Neptune can be about fantasy and imagery, illusion. Anyway, right, now let's move on to Aries. Okay, Neptune is a yin or a feminine energy. Aries is a masculine or a yang energy. Aries is the first zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. And as such, it is an instigating and initiating energy of great power. It has to be. Aries has to burst out of the primordial mud, the deep waters of Neptune, Pisces, if you like, and it has to spring into action and has to lead an army. It has to lead whatever it's leading. This way, men, says Aries. And so everything just sort of like puts on behind it. It's a very battle hungry, very forceful energy. It wants to initiate power and just drive forward. And it's it's essential to us because everybody's got a bit of Aries in us. And it's that part of us which goes right, picks up the baton and drives forward to battle or compete with or to have it have what can we say, an aggressive exchange. So Aries has been known to have aggressive exchanges. It's the soldier, it's the combat soldier in all of us. Okay, now let's put these two together. One has an effect on the other has an effect on the other. Okay, so let's first of all look at the effect of Neptune on Aries. Now, I've already mentioned that Neptune wants to blend, it's submissive, it is yielding. So, the effect on the Aries energy as it sails through Aries is that it causes a weakening and it causes an emotional dithering as well. The direction is lost. Everything becomes unclear. And I suppose you could say there's a lack of mojo, a lack of this forward bursting energy that has such great masculine impact. Now, it's going to take a number of years to do this. It's not going to happen at once. And also, the energies all have to get used to this. They all have to sort of like, it's like there's been a big storm or a tempest when one of the big planets moves zodiac sign. There's a huge kerfuffle going on. So to start with, everything can feel a bit numb because we have to get used to things before we can feel them. And then we will start to see, as the months go by, the effect of Neptune in Aries. Now let's go the other way. What is the effect of Aries on Neptune? Okay, so Aries is masculine, full of fire, full of zest, full of bursting life, and Neptune is moving in there. So this god that causes the weakening and causes the softening and is yielding is moving into Aries. What is the effect? Well, first of all, if you're ruled by Neptune, so if you have a Pisces sun, then you will feel very stimulated and you'll feel really fired with energy that you don't recognize. Suddenly you want to leap into action. Now, this can be very wearing actually on the Pisces energy because it hasn't got the fuel for this. It's going to run dry. The batteries will drain very quickly. So it could feel like a few years when you find yourself going at a greater pace, but the battery power isn't quite there, if you see what I mean. Okay, so that's if you're a Pisces sun sign. There's Pisces in all of us, and wherever you have your Pisces, then it is stimulated by this fire action. In general, talking about the world, the solar system, all of us. Um, the effect really is to. I think the effect actually is much clearer when it comes to the effect of Neptune on Aries. That's the first thing to say, that will become much more obvious. So Neptune itself, we're losing something of the empathy. So Neptune is very empathetic, very sympathetic, very yielding, very supportive, wants to heal and fix. Because that's moving into Aries, we're losing some of that beautiful, soft yin energy. And so the world could seem a little harsher at the loss of Neptune's um, really obvious energy. Neptune has been obvious in Pisces because it rules Pisces, so it's been able to effect a really powerful sense of compassion and a powerful sense of yearning and longing and wanting to fix and heal. But no more. Now it's in a world of combat, war, blood, aggression, and so we lose something of the compassion. Right, so that is a general overview. And so just sort of like chew that over, and remember that it won't be sudden. It will be something that is we're slowly going to notice. And well, yeah, I mean, it could be sudden, I suppose, but Neptune tends not to work like that. I think the biggest effect to start with is with those with an Aries sun sign suddenly feeling much more vulnerable. And the Aries part of us, wherever it is in our own personal birth chart, suddenly that area of our life feels more vulnerable. Anyway, so I hope that was useful. And I am going to say goodbye and I will see you on Wednesday. Have a nice time. Bye.